I've known you for a long time.
Yeah.
Uh, at this point in our lives, we're both fathers,
Yep. Yep.
happy fathers.
Yep.
Um, to you, what's the importance of a father growing up?
Um, in all honesty, man, I always tell everyone, especially now looking back at it as a grown man, I don't think I would be where I'm at in life if I didn't have a man to mirror growing up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I think we don't understand the importance of being able to see a man and watch a man go through life, whether it's the ups and downs, whatever it may be. So the importance of that, I mean, it's real. So having a father in your life, that go for a little boy or a little girl, you know, the importance of it is real, without a
yeah.
question, bro.
No, I definitely agree. Can you elaborate a little bit more on the importance as far as like what having a father brings, to the table, or how it affects someone growing up?
Like I say, being able to mirror a man as he's going through life. 'Cause I would probably say, man, 70% of the way I handle things is because of how I saw my father handle them. And I think that plays into the effect that when we see men in the society now, why they don't know how to navigate through life is because they never seen a man go through life. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
to piggyback on that, I can agree. My father's in my life, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, I didn't grow up with him. It wasn't a bad relationship. It was a great relationship with him. He showed me nothing but love, and every time I was with him, but it wasn't on a day-to-day basis for me.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure.
And I'll piggyback on saying, now that he's more involved, he's helped me get through obstacles and adversities
Yeah.
more than I can even explain. And I just sit back and wonder, like, well, damn, what if you were here
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
was growing up and
Yeah.
younger? So I definitely agree with you. So essentially, we're both saying it's very important.
Yeah, no, no, it's important, man. Cause right now, I got, like my son, he's 7 years old, and it's sometimes, man. Like the other day, we was riding, and he was like, "I'm never gonna get a job.
Yeah,
I'm always be my own boss."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, Where'd that come from?" But
You know
then,
where it comes
but
from.
then you
Yeah,
have, but no, you know where it come from, but then at the same time, you trying to process where did he pick that up from.
got
But
you.
now you have to think of all those times where you picking them up from school,
Yep.
you taking them to practice. Now, in between that, I'm on the phone, I'm doing stuff, I'm making calls, so he's hearing these
Mm-hmm.
interactions that I'm having.
Yeah.
So even at 7 years old, he's able to put it together that my dad run his own companies. He don't
Exactly.
work for nobody.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
you able to see that and process that and be like, okay, this is what I want. This is how I want to be as a man. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? So that's why when I say being able to mirror it, and even piggybacking off of when I say about just how I handle experiences, whether it's good, bad, negative experiences, positive experiences, the way I navigate that is because of a lot of it is because of what I saw how my father
Definitely.
navigated. You know what I
Definitely.
mean? So
Definitely.
I think having that in your life, bro,
Scale of 1 to 10.
that's a that I can't even put a
You
10. It's
can't put
past
it.
a
It's
10.
past a 10.
You know what I mean?
I
Because
bet.
like I say, bro,
Yeah.
I don't honestly think I would be where I'm at in my life if I didn't have my father in my life.
And I've had the privilege of meeting your father, and he's a
Yeah,
solid
yeah,
dude. He's a
yeah,
solid dude.
yeah. So just doing, and that's why I say, man, just having as men, we get down on ourselves sometimes, and you might not think you're
We
doing
do.
enough.
Yeah.
And I tell
It's a lot of
any,
pressure.
yeah, yeah, it's pressure.
Yeah.
So I tell any man, I say, man, it don't matter if you work at McDonald's or you the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. At the end of the day, that little boy, that little girl look at you like a superstar. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? It
Yeah.
don't matter. He don't know or she don't know that you work at McDonald's.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
All
No.
she
No.
know is that, or he know is that that's his dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
put my dad up against any other dad, you know what I mean? My
My
dad
dad's
gonna
better
win.
than
Yeah, you
yours.
feel
Yeah.
me? Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
really what it
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
down to. So
Definitely.
you have to really understand that, and once you start looking at it from that point of view, you start to really realize like just the presence, how important that is. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Your son gonna think you can lift up the Eiffel Tower.
How does that make you feel, knowing that, when you're riding in the car with him and he asks you those types of questions, and then you reflect and like, wow, he's actually, you know,
Yeah.
idolizing me when you idolize your father.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Well, it's a replay. That's really what it
It
is.
reminds you of you.
It's a replay,
It's
cause
like a
cause
clone, a little clone
yeah,
kinda
yeah, yeah,
deal. Yeah, yeah.
cause even with where I'm at in life, I remember even earlier in life, people would ask me, "Where do I get these ideas from?"
Mhm.
And what's crazy is I couldn't even just tell you where I was getting the ideas from.
They were just
They were
Kemmler.
just there.
They were there, yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
yeah.
now that I'm older, I know they came from him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
Mhm.
came from what he was telling me or what I'm seeing him do. That's where the ideas were coming from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just now I was able to take it and put my own twist and turn to it because um I'm the newer generation. I
Exactly.
know how to move a little different with things as
Yeah.
things start to advance, but the core and the basis of things was still there. So that's really what made it that's what made it a lot easier for me. So kind of seeing him when he's asking me these questions or when he's coming back with these things, it's just a rewind because it's basically like it's a reminder of that's where I got my information from. You
Gotcha.
know, it's a
Now,
reminder.
you elaborated on you're in this generation.
Right.
Now, in the world we live in today, do you think it's more difficult now to raise a daughter and a son? Or do you think it's more similar kind of when we were coming up? Or do you think it's kind of the same? Or do you think it's extremely difficult or better or easier in a sense?
It, I think it's a lot easier to raise a son in this generation than to raise a daughter.
Why is that?
Um, because as men, the world gonna always let us know of our failures.
That's true. That's
You know
very
what I
much
mean?
true. We're held accountable
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
everything we do.
The world
Yeah, yeah.
immediately is gonna let you know your failures and where you messed up at. Your son and your daughter gonna both have your same teachings. Obviously, some things are gonna be different, but they're gonna essentially have the same core, basic, and values of things. So when they get older, let's just say, not to say because you're gonna stay in your son and daughter's life, but let's just say hypothetically, your son goes with his way, your daughter goes her way. Um, when your son goes off, let's just say he's been going a year, 2 years out of the house.
Mhm.
Any mistake he make, he gonna be reminded of that.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah.
world gonna punish him for every mistake he make.
Yeah. Definitely.
And that's how that works. But we both know as women, when it comes to them, things naturally they just
Slap on the wrist.
yeah, yeah,
In a
just
sense. In
yes,
a sense.
slap on the wrist, but more so they're more so of a protected in the sense of the coddled in a way.
Yeah,
You
of
know what I
course,
mean?
of course.
Um,
As they should,
yeah, yeah, yes, they
as they
should
should,
exactly. Yes,
especially as a daughter.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
just a natural thing. So when they go off in the world, that thing is it's still there.
Yeah.
That presence of that is still there. So when they do make a mistake, the punishment or the consequences for that mistake isn't there as nowhere as near as what you're gonna feel as a man. You know what I
So
mean?
what do you think the difficulties is of raising a daughter? Is it hard to kinda instill that, um is it kinda hard to instill life's consequences or accountability when it pertains to a daughter as it pertains to a son? Like you kind of elaborate on it. If your son goes out here, let's just say he throws a rock and breaks a car window,
Yeah,
he may get thrown in juvenile or something.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
he may go down, and then that's a trickle effect
yeah,
on everything else he does in life because
yeah,
now he's
yeah,
experienced that one mistake of throwing that rock to
yeah,
kind of,
yeah. No, yeah,
go down that path.
yeah,
As opposed to, let's say your daughter throws that rock, it's like, all right, where are your parents? Where's your father?
yeah,
In a sense. So what do you think makes it more difficult? Is it society or is it more or less just how, we feel more empathy for, an individual in a sense?
yeah. Men are the disposable species.
Yeah.
You know,
But
no,
that's another conversation.
no, no. When I say disposable, meaning
In reality,
yeah,
yes. Yeah.
reality.
In
So so
reality,
so
you're right.
so
You're right.
so
You're
what
right.
I'm saying is,
We go to war.
yeah,
We do
yeah,
this. Like, it don't
yeah,
matter how hard we work. It's like you're supposed to do that.
yeah, yeah,
And is that
yeah,
what you're getting at?
yeah,
Kind of.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
really what
Yeah.
it is. So it's like with your daughter when she does go off, like I say, the world is going to shield her from her consequences.
Yeah.
She's never going to be fully punished. A man's consequences gonna come right then and there. The unfortunate thing is, and we know a woman's consequences gonna come later in life.
That's true.
Everything she's done, because the thing is now, and reason why I say it's harder to raise a daughter over a son, because they all have the same teachings, but once you get a slap on the wrist as your son, you start to realize, okay, let me go back to what my dad was telling me,
Yeah.
because he was right.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
right. So now you start to realize, okay, everything he taught me was really the right way to go.
Yeah.
So let me follow from here on out, so I don't get in nothing else. Let me walk the path that he and the teachings that he gave me.
Exactly.
So for your daughter, you might tell her something as simple as, don't hang around a certain crowd of girls, or because how females are, or don't be involved with a lot of different dudes.
Yeah.
Something as simple as that. And she might think that it's a game because, the first dude she got with, it was fine.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
second
Yeah.
dude she got with, it was fine.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
third dude told her, "Oh, it's no problem. I don't care about who you've been with,"
Yeah. Yeah.
and so on and so forth. It's the same pattern now.
Unlimited options
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
having a good life or
yeah,
whatever the
exactly,
case may be.
exactly. And now you
Yeah.
10, 15 dudes in, and you might, let's just say, I don't know, might be 28, 29 years old, but now you 10, 15 dudes in, but maybe a couple of those dudes that's
We're gonna get
yeah,
deeper
yeah,
into
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah,
conversation.
yeah, yeah. But but it's more so
Yeah.
just like she's not gonna be hit with the consequences of you don't be involved with a lot of dudes until later on in life, when she finally meets somebody who would like to take her serious, but now he finds out.
About her past transgressions and stuff.
Exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
before, all the other dudes before her lied to her and told her that it was okay.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But her dad did lie to
But
her.
dad didn't lie to her. You see
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
But on the flip side of that, if I told my son, "Hey, it's your responsibility to go out, make something of yourself, provide, um,
Protect. Yeah.
protect all these things," if he doesn't do those things, he'll never be able to find a woman.
And he'll feel lesser of a
Yeah,
man.
yeah, you
In
feel
it
less of a man.
in itself, like you said, a lot of men self-reflect because
Yeah,
we carry a lot of weight on our shoulders in a
yeah,
sense of knowing what the expectations are from
exactly.
not only our fathers or our
Yeah,
mothers or our family, but from society.
yeah, yeah,
Like we know that the bar is set here.
yeah,
If you fall under that bar,
yeah,
you might
yeah,
as well just say, it's the
yeah,
end of
yeah, yeah,
life
yeah,
kind of in
yeah,
a
yeah.
sense,
No, that's true.
So you kind of thrive to be,
Yeah,
you know, what your father has instilled in you if
yeah,
you're I would say lucky enough to have that,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know. Kind of sticking with the same topic, would you agree on disciplining your daughter as you do your son, just to see how that kind of transpires in effect to saying, "Hey, I'm gonna hold you accountable to the same things I hold him accountable to."
yeah,
Do you think that that would make a difference in let's say it's a science experiment or a
yeah,
social
yeah, yeah,
experiment?
yeah,
Let's say, because we've all been in preschool and
yeah, yeah,
school and things
yeah,
like that, and it's things that we've gotten in trouble for
yeah,
that girls do, and they're like,
yeah, 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 yeah,
it's
yeah.
not a
No, for
big
sure.
deal,
Yeah,
it's not a big deal. So, do you think if women were or girls, in the sense of growing up, I guess, were disciplined the same way, and there are some that are,
yeah,
I don't want to exclude those, but
yeah.
do you think that there would be a difference if they were kind of where we're at now with equal equality and equal, you know, everything?
Um, I don't think disciplining your daughter and your son the same. You should.
I agree.
And
I agree.
the reason why, because like I say, you have to teach your son early on that I'm harder on my son,
Yeah.
because I know the world is not gonna take it easy
It's
on
not
you.
gonna take it easy
It
on them.
ain't gonna take it easy on
Exactly.
you,
Yeah.
And the thing is, he'd see that. He see that because it's been times he'll say, "Why did I
Why
get
can't
in?"
she do that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Why did I
yeah,
get in
yeah.
trouble for that?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah,
And I
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
shield it or try to hide it under the presence of, "Oh, it's because you're older." But in reality, I know I'm doing it because I'm like, "No, you can't make this type of mistake. You can't do this type of
You
stuff."
can't afford to.
Yeah, yeah, you
Yeah,
understand? Yeah, like
yeah, exactly.
I have to make sure I'm letting him know you can't do this.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like you got to watch out for that. And so I don't think necessarily disciplining them in that aspect. It's more so of, you have to treat them. No child is the same. So and no gender, no, male or female, little boy, little girl. That you can't raise any one of them the same.
No, you can't.
Um, but it's more so though of when your daughter does make a mistake, if she's growing up, you have to let her know, hey, if, let's say if she was to hit a little boy or something like that, you
Yeah.
gotta say, hey,
If he hits
don't,
you back
yeah, don't
though,
hit him. If he
yeah,
hits you, come tell me, or
yeah.
tell the teacher, because if you hit him back, to protect
What if
yourself.
she hits him first?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So it's like
yeah,
if you hit him, he's stronger than you.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's like letting
yeah,
her know that, like, you're not gonna beat him up.
yeah.
Yeah, it ain't. You don't got a fair shot of that.
Scientifically,
Yeah, yeah. You don't
yeah,
really got a fair shot of
yeah,
that. It don't matter how many, how good I show you how to throw a jab or a straight.
yeah.
You just not gonna beat him.
Hmm.
So it's like things like that. It's no different than if we go if you about to get into a fight and it's you versus 10 dudes. And if you
Yeah.
just wait, if you just hold off for 10 more minutes
Hmm.
and wait for everybody else, your friends, to get
Get
there.
there.
You know what I
I
mean?
got a better chance.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
you got a better chance. So
yeah.
that's just playing it smart.
That's true.
Just playing it smart.
That's very much
Just
true.
play it smart.
Yeah.
Just stall it out.
Stall it
So
out.
so it's like one of
Say
the,
what you gotta say.
yeah,
Take a
yeah.
few steps back, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
until
Stall
it.
it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you know what's coming on the way. So it's like one of those things. Just like
yeah.
understand, like you can't physically beat him. So you have to, in that particular example, it's just that yeah, don't understand how to protect yourself and put yourself at the advantage.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's more so what it is.
Now, do you think? Well, who takes a bigger risk, boys or girls? I mean, because look, I have a daughter.
Yeah,
She's 5 years old,
yeah,
right? When she comes and she visits, she loves Florida. She stays in the Midwest right now, and when she comes and visits, man, this girl is the girliest girl ever.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
she's a tomboy. Like, don't play with her.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And I mean, it's to the point where it's certain things she does, and I'm the bigger, like,
yeah, yeah,
dad, and I'm like, I'm always there to kind of catch her, make sure
yeah,
she does
yeah,
don't
yeah,
nick your,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
she'll run around the island or something in the kitchen, and I'm like, your head is right there
Yeah,
where the
yeah, yeah.
island
That's true.
is.
That's
Like,
true. That's true,
but
bro.
if I can only imagine if I had a son, I would kind of sit back like, nah, that wasn't fast enough,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind
No,
of like,
that's true. That's
well,
true. That's true, man. Even you saying that, yeah, that's true, bro. Cause I think my daughter ended up getting like a scrape on her foot,
uh-huh.
and that damn near broke my heart. You know
Oh
what I mean?
man,
Yeah, yeah.
it does
That
that.
almost broke my heart. See,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But like
yeah.
he got a scab on his face like a scarf from playing
It was
football.
like pack some dirt in
Yeah,
it.
I'm like, man,
Tough it up.
you'll
You
be all
good.
right. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I'm like, you'll be all right. So no, so yeah, so yeah, it becomes that protection thing is a part of like I said, it plays back into the whole discipline conversation,
Definitely.
because it's not even when it comes to your daughter and your son, man, you can't discipline them the same way.
You can't.
You can't
No.
discipline them the same way. It's not the same. And as a father, you just have a natural instinct to protect your daughter.
What?
So
Yeah.
the thought of it's almost like a king have to send his son off to war just to or to learn how to fight in battle,
Or to
just
get
to
his stripes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, to
Get
get
his
his
stripes. Yeah.
to earn his place. It's like for your daughter,
And
she
if
don't.
he dies, you know why.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But for your daughter, she don't got to go earn no stripes.
No.
She don't got.
Yeah.
As just your daughter,
Yeah.
you just teaching her the right way that she need to hold herself.
And hoping she takes heed to that. Yeah.
But this the thing is, I think that as a father, if you there, her natural indication
Will be
to do what
exactly. So
dad.
when I do run into certain guys later
Yeah,
on in
yeah,
life, it's
yeah,
like, wait a second.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You're 15,000 steps behind my
yeah,
father
yeah,
on
yeah.
what I expect a man to be, kind of just based off of representation in a
Exactly,
sense, based
exactly.
on being in his presence and seeing what he does and how he carries himself.
Yeah,
You don't conduct yourself like that. So you know,
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. No, that's true.
it,
That's
it
true.
and I'll be honest, I do believe that that is the case. It's more of a lead by example with both,
Yeah.
but one definitely does get more of the immediate pressure as
Yeah, yeah,
opposed
yeah,
to
yeah.
it being more on the latter. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's 2023 now, right?
Yeah.
You know, my grandfather did a great job of building up his legacy and his family legacy. I've had family members carried it on and things like that, whether it be business, everything like that, property development, everything, right?
Yeah.
And that's who I idolize.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, dropped out in 6th grade, ended up building, you know,
Yeah, building
so
everything.
some
Yeah.
some stuff I haven't seen in a long time
Yeah.
by, you know,
Yeah.
like us
Yeah.
and stuff. So, for me, that was always my example. I
Yeah.
mean, I would hop in the truck with him and go to different, commercial sites and things like that, and
Yeah.
grew up really knowing how to work
Yeah.
hands on.
Yeah.
Do you think the men nowadays are weaker than the men back then in a sense? And why? Like,
Yeah.
what do
Ma
you think is
yeah.
the reason for that?
I mean, society make men weaker now.
What about society
Because
then?
you don't have the same burden of performance no more as a man.
Well, I don't wanna cross you up because
Yeah.
you're my boy,
Yeah.
but we just talked about raising our sons and
Uh,
letting them know when you get into the real world, it's not sweet. You're not gonna have this it's not gonna be sugar coated.
yeah. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
be you're gonna have to, actually have to stand on what you're actually
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So,
for sure.
if that's still the case and that's still in effect,
Hmm.
which I'm pretty sure if you ask anybody, they're gonna say a man is supposed to protect, provide, do this, do that.
Yeah.
So, what about society if they still think that? Just kind of elaborate on why you think men are weaker today than as opposed to yesteryears in a sense.
Because of the same thing I'm telling you. We thinking about us.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I mean?
It's a
That
whole nother generation
yeah,
coming up.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
you're
whole
right.
nother generation, or even some of the dudes that grew up that's within our generation,
Yeah,
we're trying to portray it to the way we were brought up.
yeah.
And that's not the case of what's going on right now. So when I say the burden of performance, meaning when your grandfather's growing up, when my grandfather's coming up,
Hmm.
their idea of I have to go out and provide.
Yeah,
You know,
that was
like
definitely.
I have to go provide. It's not my wife's responsibility to provide.
Yeah, my grandmother never worked a job.
Yeah, you see what I'm
I mean, she
saying?
may have did like something random
Yeah, yeah,
because she
yeah,
needed to though, and
yeah,
he hated it.
yeah. You see
And
what I'm
I
saying?
mean, he was on the brink of probably like, "Hey, you go back in there. I'm divorcing
Yeah,
you
that's like because
because I'm supposed to be doing
it's a
this."
slap. It's because it's almost a slap
In
in
the
the face.
face. Yeah,
Especially
it
for that
is.
generation.
Exactly.
Because that's when I say the burden of performance. Because at the end of the day, me and you will hold each other accountable for stuff. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, men
So
do that all the
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
but even now, a lot of dudes don't hold each other accountable. But even so, back then, you were definitely gonna be held accountable.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I mean? If you if y'all house got foreclosed on or you lost the house, they not going to the wife and asking her why y'all lost the house.
No,
They asking you why you lost the house.
exactly,
You know what I mean? So
exactly.
so
Yeah,
that having that constant awareness of that this is my responsibility and how it's gonna make me look in a sense as a man if this dudes go downhill, that really is a that's what I mean, the burden of performance.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now it could be something as simple as um a man might just feel like you have some men today, the world we live in, two incomes for the majority of people you have to have. I like
Well,
it.
do you think? I feel like it's set up for that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In a
No.
sense, in a sense, in a sense.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong. Now, I'm not saying that's what I was brought up on
Yeah,
or what I saw before, and I'm not saying immediate fan, but what I saw as far as what you know my father figure in a sense
yeah.
did. I, I didn't know women worked for a long time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
in my mind, I was like, no, they just
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah,
do
yeah.
this, this, and this, and the food's good.
Yeah.
I don't have to touch a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
plate. I don't have to get my own drink or anything like that. But um in today's world, that's kind of 50-50 is the thing, right?
Yeah, 50-50 is okay. There's
Hmm.
nothing wrong with 50-50 because in the world we live in, that's what you need right now, to be honest with you, especially when you're starting off young. But
I agree. Yeah, yeah.
what I'm saying burden of performance is the man doesn't feel like I have to find a way to alleviate my
At all
wife from
costs.
this. You know what I
At
mean?
all costs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Eh,
Especially
yeah.
if you don't have children at the time, I think it's something that you have to start playing into your mind as a man if you're in your mid 20s, early 20s, if you don't have kids, you have
Hmm.
to start thinking, okay, if I'm with this woman and whether you married with her long term time girlfriend, whatever it may be, you need to start saying, okay, how am I going to get her out of the workforce?
Exactly.
And that's what I mean. It might not be something where it's permanent. It might not even be something where it's full time she's out of the workforce. But just how can I alleviate it? Because the thing is now, this goes back to the whole topic where we started at, in the beginning, the importance of fathers, everything is, and just the family dynamic is that once you start having children, this woman is going to want to be a mother. She's going to want to now play into her natural role as
Yeah,
a woman.
yeah, I agree.
So now if she has to sit here and go to work every day and struggle every day in the sense of having to worry about paying the bills or things not being able to, be taken care of,
Mhm.
it's going now
Take away.
it's going to take away from
It's gonna
her.
take away,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what I mean by when I say the burden, meaning that it's a standard that a man needs to make sure he always has.
Yeah,
It's a standard that he got to make sure that he has. And that standard sometimes isn't always represented or exemplified the way it should. And like
I
I
agree.
say, one thing we always get caught up because we just think about us
We do,
or the dude, like we
we
know
do.
what we grew up in. So we just see us in the sense of, well, we this way.
But there are a lot of people that aren't like us,
That's what I'm
that
saying. Yeah.
didn't see certain examples
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
even put their mindset in that direction.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I I can attest to this. If you feel like you didn't live up to a certain standard, you feel
Yeah.
like a failure.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you
yeah, yeah.
think that men now feel like failures if they're not at that position? Or and just to go off of the weaker, like, do you feel like men are weaker in a sense? But is it a thing where that they don't have the goals or the expectations set to a certain standard to say, no, I need to exemplify this. I need to be like, all right, this is my example. And if I don't make this, I'm a failure in a
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I say failure because we didn't get participation trophies. I don't remember. Did you ever come in last place and get a trophy
No,
growing up?
well, I ain't never come in last place neither. So
Well, no, I know that that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Neither did I, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know the
yeah.
people that did,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
remember them
yeah,
getting
yeah.
trophies.
No, no,
If that
yeah,
makes
that's fair.
sense,
No, that's fair.
I never saw the person where there was little league football,
Yeah,
baseball,
yeah.
swim team, karate.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
care
yeah,
what it
yeah, yeah.
was.
No, I know what you're saying.
They didn't get a trophy. So, I do you think it's more acceptable when you say like society's made men weaker? Do you think it's more acceptable in a sense to be like, well, I gave it a shot. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gave it a try. Like that's enough.
Yeah, yeah.
When in actuality,
Yeah, no, that's what it is.
yeah,
That's what it is now. Or the same thing like you saying with your grandfather is that you put the weight on the woman now.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah, yeah,
mean? It's
yeah,
like I'm trying my best. Now you need to try harder. Or you know what I mean? Or maybe you need to try a little harder.
yeah,
But really it's no, you as the man need to maybe try a little harder.
yeah.
You know what I
I
mean? But
agree.
but that's why when I say like men are just becoming a little more weaker, it's just because we we don't have that same I don't want to use the word shame, but that's really what it
That's
is.
really what it
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
though.
yeah. You're not shamed for not being a man, for not fulfilling your responsibilities and your duties as a man. You're not shamed no more. You know what I mean?
W-
And when I say shame, I mean shamed by other men by saying, "Hey, man, what you doing?"
What you doing?
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, come on, we
Tighten
got,
up.
yeah,
Get right.
we got to do better than this. You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, if like I said, if you're a young couple, I think both y'all should be working together. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Starting off, that's the way it's supposed to. But it's like if she doing 80 hours, you need to be doing at least 80 hours. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah, yeah,
you gotta be matching her or doing more. She can't be doing more than you. That's what I mean by that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So let me ask you this. So
yeah,
with everything that we do know now,
yeah.
what do you think a man needs to do in order to improve himself? What do you think where you think he can start at?
I honestly, it's so much stuff, man, like that you can improve on.
Yeah,
I mean, the list goes on,
yeah,
especially as a man. Like every day should be a form of improvement. I
yeah,
don't care what it is,
yeah,
but I think the first thing is your faith. Growing up, as a Christian,
yeah,
I think every time I've ever needed to improve myself at my lowest point, I fell
yeah,
back on my faith, and
yeah, yeah,
I kind of implemented God a lot
yeah,
into my life. I think another one is family. I
yeah,
think, as much as people want to be, lone wolves and
Yeah.
do their own thing. I think family is as much of as importance to, friendships,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
as important
Yeah.
to social life, or as important to networking. I think having a good structure, and I'll be the first to say I know a lot of people don't come from a good family
Yeah,
structure.
yeah, yeah, that's what it
So
yeah.
it may be
Yeah,
it
yeah.
may be hard for them to kind of fall back on family, but
Yeah.
if you do come from that,
Yeah.
don't shy away from it, because you're
Mhm.
now interacting with people in life that don't have that same structure. If you have a good relationship with your family, I think you need to kind of, because those are the people that are going to care about you
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
when
100%.
you're sick,
The
when
right
you're
family, like you say.
huh?
The right
The
family.
right
Yeah,
family. Yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah,
right
yeah,
family.
yeah,
The
yeah,
right
yeah,
family.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly. If
Yeah.
you're down and out, I mean, they'll pick you back up,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
they'll try to get you on the right way to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Um, as far as other improvements, I mean, I think mental health is big.
Yeah.
And I know that's kind of a newer thing in our community in a
Yeah.
sense, but I mean, everybody goes through adversities and
Yeah.
everybody goes through obstacles. And I think, at a young age is kind of instilled that we may go through it more, whether it be black or brown or whatever the
Yeah, yeah,
case may
yeah, yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I think it's important for you to make sure that you have mental clarity in
Yeah.
whatever you do. That's a good way to improve as well.
Yeah.
And I think surrounding yourself with good people, people that
Yeah.
are like-minded, people that
Yeah.
have, I'm not going to say the same goals, because it's always great to find someone that has their separate goals
Yeah, yeah.
and you have yours, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, that's dope that you have
Yeah.
this going
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
yourself and I got this going for myself, but at least we got some shit
Yeah,
going,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
We all got
because
something
I,
going.
I
Yeah.
think a lot of people fall into the trap of
Yeah.
surrounding themselves with where people don't have goals in general.
Yeah.
Now, it's a difference between being connected with an individual that has like-minded goals,
Yeah.
which that's a ultimate positive. It's
Yeah.
rare too,
Yeah.
especially if it's a big group of people or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But I think surrounding yourself with those type of people and implementing faith in your life, and I think being able to fall back on family and
Yeah.
seeking whatever kind of guidance you may need, whether it's from a counselor or this or that.
Yeah.
I think those are all positive things that a man can do to improve, that a lot of men shy away from.
Yeah.
I think a lot of men shy away from the family aspect because it's like, nigga, I want to do it on my own.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like I
yeah,
got
yeah.
this, and which is just part of us.
Yeah.
I think a
Yeah.
lot of people shy away from God because too, it's like, well, where were you when I went through this
Yeah,
situation?
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
weren't there.
yeah,
Why did this happen to me?
yeah,
A lot of people shy away from, the mental aspect of it because, hell, it's never been present in the first
yeah,
place.
yeah, yeah,
So I think a lot of those things are great for a man to implement in his life for
yeah,
improvement.
yeah,
As far as, reading knowledge,
yeah.
educating, self-education,
Oh
whatever the
yeah.
case may be.
Just continue to improve that way.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. You right, bro. You right. I mean, I always tell everybody faith. That's why I draw down to first and foremost. Obviously, family is there, but there's times in life, man, where and that's just back when we talking about just a man improving himself, just understanding that, man, it's gonna be sometimes, bro, where it's some things you're going through, ain't nobody gonna understand but you and God.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
It's gonna be y'all too.
Yeah,
It's
like
gonna be y'all too.
ain't
Yeah.
nobody go, can't
Yeah.
nobody understand it but you and God, and that's why you do have to always make sure you're drawing back and keeping God first more than anything, because it's some things, man, Mama just can't give you advice on.
That's
Some
true.
things, Dad just don't. He don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ain't that
Yeah.
he don't. He not trying to help you. She hit her knees every night and pray for you, and he do the same. But it's just some things where you and God got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, God already got to figure it out, but
He
yeah, and
do.
no, and he know what
He
the
waiting on you to come.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's more
Yeah.
so just you have to you got to go to him first more than anything. And I think when we do that, that allows us to let everything else flow when
I
it
agree.
comes to family. You
I
know what I
agree.
mean?
I
Because
agree.
now
Doors start opening,
there you go. Yeah, yeah.
opportunities start coming your way,
Yeah,
things
exactly.
like that. It really has an effect when you go to him first.
Yeah.
Not you can't go to him when always you're down and out, because at
Yeah,
that
yeah.
point it's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
hey,
yeah. Because I
you
think
know,
I think a lot of times, and this is what I try to tell people, man or woman, when we go to our family sometimes, or if you go to your family for advice or something, we get frustrated with them because they don't got the answers for us.
That's true.
You know what I
That's
mean?
very much true.
And
You
and,
do.
and I tell everyone, they're not supposed to have the answers for you all the time. You know, they not gonna have the
They're
answers
there to
for you.
guide you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but that's why you go to God. You know what I mean? But like you say, they there to just to be the that foundation and to ground you and to keep you, keep you planted. But we get, I think, frustrated sometimes because we're going to people for help. You know what I
Mm,
mean? When
mm.
it's like
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of times where we always kind of says that, this isn't a physical fight, it's a spiritual
It's
fight.
spiritual. Yeah.
So you can't go to someone because they don't understand what's going on. I don't want you to have to help me figure my problems out.
Yeah.
Cause if you did, we both gonna be over here banging our head against the wall, going crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't need that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I'm gonna go to God with my problems. I know I'll
Yeah.
figure this out.
One way or
Whatever.
another.
Yeah, yeah, one
One
way
way
or
or
another.
another.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
one way or
I'm gonna
another.
figure this out. You know what I mean? So it ain't that I gotta necessarily just bring it straight to you, or talk to you about what's going on in my life. Is like, no, I'm gonna figure it out. Because if I told you some of the shit that I'm having to,
Same.
you know what I mean,
Same. Yeah.
like I got to figure out on a
Yeah.
day-to-day basis and this, that, and the third, man, you would be like, man, stop calling me.
Go
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, 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 yeah.
You know,
No, I totally get it.
you know what I
But
mean?
God not gonna tell you that
Yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah. You know
He
what I
gonna say,
mean?
"Call me again."
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
Call me again.
exactly,
And
bro.
he gonna pick up.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I totally agree with you,
yeah.
man.
So yeah, man,
Yeah,
and so that's really what it has to be. And I think sometimes too, man, we shy away from God because everybody feel like sometimes they have to be the perfect Christian.
yeah.
And I tell everybody, I say, man, nobody perfect.
Nobody human.
Yeah, and I tell everybody, I always make the argument, say, man, I don't think nobody faith as strong as mine.
Hmm.
But I do some things that I probably shouldn't do sometimes. I mean, I say I sometimes I curse a little more than I should. It's just like
Yeah,
little things that I know,
yeah,
man, I probably
yeah,
shouldn't be doing that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
so I don't never claim to be perfect, but I know, I tell everybody I know God. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And God knows you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And know it's crazy. I feel the same way.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah,
way where you know when you talk to God when you go through something or you don't. Like we said about improvement.
yeah,
I don't think a lot of people know how that improves you.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
as much as you may think that that's like at the
yeah,
lowest level of improvement,
yeah,
that's at the top of
yeah.
improvement
Very top.
because as soon as you do it, you kind of it's like a weight lifted off your shoulders.
Yeah,
Like the burden is taken
yeah, yeah,
and you're giving it to somebody because if I like you said, if somebody comes to you or you go to somebody and tell them
yeah,
about your problems,
yeah,
y'all
yeah,
both gonna be banging your
yeah,
heads.
yeah,
So now you
yeah.
just gave me your burden.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
God
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
bang his head. He's not gonna do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When you go to him, he's gonna take it,
Yeah,
he's gonna filter it. You're
yeah,
gonna get what you need to get from
yeah, yeah,
whatever that situation is,
yeah,
and then you're gonna persevere
yeah,
after that.
yeah,
Um,
and that's really like you say, if it's anything, what everything you said was on point as far as what a man needs to do to improve. But I always tell a
what would you
man,
add?
no, I always tell a man, you got to start there with your faith.
Yeah,
And
you
I
do.
think and I think
You do.
everything else follows because God know how he made you.
Yeah,
He
and he
knows
didn't
you
make
what he
nobody the same.
Yeah, yeah, he ain't make
Yeah,
nobody the same. So I know at the end of the day, everything that I got going on in life, I'm blessed to have. So these problems essentially I'm still blessed to have,
exactly,
regardless of the fact. So
exactly.
so I already know um God put me to handle this much of
He's not gonna
stress and
give you
pressure,
what's
you
the
know?
saying?
Yeah.
He's not gonna
Yeah,
give you
more than
more
you
than
can.
you can handle.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and so, why would I take my problems that's here at my capacity to someone who God said, "This is all I know you
I
can
want to give
handle."
you.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Why
yeah.
would I put this drop this
Yeah,
weight on you?
because they're still the same too,
Yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah.
Essentially, because
Yeah,
this is here for you to handle,
exactly.
and that's there for them to
That's there
handle.
for them to handle. Yeah, but
Exactly.
why would
Yeah,
I
yeah.
drop this? I can't drop this extra weight that I got on you because God didn't,
He
you
didn't
got
intend
your
for you to
own
have
extra.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
that's what I always try to just interpret to everybody because I have people all the time, and it's not like I'm just, you know, this just day to day stuff that just might be going on that you have to figure out and deal with. It's like,
Hmm.
man, listen, I don't got nothing going on that's just killing me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like nothing like that. But it's like, nah, man, I'm good. Like I'm whatever I got going on, I figured out because I've been figuring it out since day one. You know
Got
what
you,
I mean?
got
So
you, got
so
you.
so
Yeah, yeah.
so and that's what I think too draws into the improvement of a man because once he does go to God and you walk with him through that first those first troubles and struggles that you face. Once you walk with him once, you realize now I can go through anything.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and that and that's what it do. That's what it does for you more than
Do
anything
you
as a man.
do do you think men now are shying away from that in a sense? Because and I'm not saying we're not talking about kind of going to church, paying tithes, and
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
not going too deep in it. We're more or less talking about faith within yourself in
Yeah.
order to improve yourself.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? It's a little bit separate than more of religious spew in a
Yeah,
sense,
yeah.
or kind of pandering towards a certain denomination or something. We're just saying that having faith and having a relationship with God will improve you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not necessarily that you have to I don't want to say I mean it's great to go to church. Don't get me wrong at all.
yeah.
But if you as a man, maybe if you just don't feel comfortable like you there yet,
It's your
just
relationship.
yeah, pick your Bible up. Just pick your
Exactly.
Bible up and start
It,
reading.
it tells you everything.
Yeah, yeah, pick your Bible up and
Yeah,
start reading, and eventually God will get you to where he wants you to be. He'll
yeah,
take you to the exact church that he wants you to be at,
yep.
around the exact people that he wants you to be around,
I,
but you
yeah,
got to start somewhere. You have to seek him first. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so we are in a sense we do shy away from it because a lot of us do feel like, okay, I gotta go to church.
Or we're not good enough
Yeah,
in a
yeah, yeah,
sense.
yeah. But like, nah,
Yeah.
man, pick your Bible up, start reading, start trying to get something in yourself, and eventually it guides you to where you need to go.
Yeah,
You know?
I know one time, I mean, I was doing this for a while. I would literally open the Bible randomly
Yeah,
to whatever it landed on, and I guarantee you, every time I opened it, it was spoke to me directly to
y-
whatever situation
yeah,
I was
yeah,
going through,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
was amazed just by how that affected.
yeah,
Now, I haven't read front to back, but I've read it,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
I remember when I was doing that, that was kind of a thing for me where I knew me and him had this understanding,
yeah, yeah,
or,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that this is speaking to me,
yeah.
whatever the case may be.
Nah, for sure.
Um, do you think h since we both agree that it's at the top, it's on the pedestal of improvement,
Uh huh.
do you think that society is making it more or less not prevalent? Because, I mean, even when I went to church younger and went with my mom or my grandma or something like that, right?
Yeah,
I would see men in the church. I would see
yeah,
deacons, I would see an uncle or a distant cousin or something. I would see the
yeah,
men kinda, it was part of, like,
yeah,
this
yeah,
community in a sense of that, to
yeah.
where, like, we talked about, past generations, to where it was by example. Do you think now the examples are no longer there, so it's kind of a lesser than, or kind of a, like,
You
a
like
obsolete situation,
saying
or what?
about going to church, about men going to
Well, just
church.
having faith in general. Like, do you think that the leadership of the men that men are seeing isn't the same as kinda the men
Oh, I
we were
see what you're
seeing
saying.
in a sense?
Um, yeah,
Like,
no,
my grandfather didn't like to go to church, but he
yeah,
would read it, he knew his Bible front to back.
yeah, yeah,
Certain things like that. So it doesn't have necessarily be about, going to church or
yeah, no, no,
being a part of.
yeah, no, no,
Yeah.
same here. It's more so is that man, our society has given us everything else in our face except God.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. I would agree with
we
that.
have
I would agree with that.
motivational speakers.
We do.
You know, when the only motivation they're giving is the motivation
Of
to
money.
fuel their pockets.
Yep.
You know, so that plays a role into what's going on right now. Is that we don't have the example, but at the same time, it's not in our face. The same way my grandfather didn't necessarily go to church every Sunday. My
Mm-mm.
grandmother did,
Yeah.
but this is the thing. What I always tell everybody: he watches my grandmother get up and go to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
So eventually, you start to ask yourself, as a man or any human, what's making her get up and go to church every Sunday?
Yeah.
You start to drift and go that way now,
By example.
by example.
Yeah.
So that's what the world we living in now, we drift into what we see, the examples that
What
we
we're
got,
being fed. Yeah.
what we've been fed. So
Yeah.
if we don't have it in front of us, you know, how do we expect to be led to it? We only gonna be led to destruction or to the weakness of our mind. You know that's what
Yeah.
we going. That's what's good. That's what's feeding us.
Vanity. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's what's feeding us, man. So and so it's important with that. And but even with that, man, and kind of with all that, let's say if with what we know now,
Hmm.
and we done had a good conversation. What would you even say you would tell your younger self, 18 to 21-year-old self? What advice, if you can go back in time, would you give
That's a great
yourself?
transition, my
Yeah,
brother.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's,
yeah,
that's a great
yeah,
transition.
yeah.
I'm just gonna
No,
tell
no,
you
yeah,
that. I was
no.
that's a great transition. I mean, okay. I'll be honest, man. Going back to probably my 18-year-old self or 21-year-old self,
Yeah,
I would say focus less on, the women aspect of life.
yeah, yeah.
You know, that would be. I have to be honest, and I know that's why we're
Eh,
here to be honest, and I would say that, but
yeah,
that's first.
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
first.
yeah,
Focus more on
yeah,
what I needed to do until I got to wherever point I set for myself when I was 5 years old.
yeah,
After that point, I could do,
yeah. Do it. Yeah,
do whatever, do what I need to do.
yeah,
Um, and I'm not saying I would have. How about this? I would have eliminated certain distractions
yeah,
in
yeah,
life.
yeah, yeah.
That's
No,
a
for
better
sure.
way to say it.
No, for sure.
Um, but types of advice I would give myself is, not be easily influenced.
Yeah,
Not be easily influenced. Choose who you're going to hang around.
yeah, yeah,
And pick it very wisely because you know you don't know what type of situations you may be in to
yeah,
where someone else's decisions or someone else's influence can lead you down a path to where it's not to say unforgivable, but it detours you from your path.
yeah, yeah,
And that's what I would say to my 18-year-old to 21-year-old self is don't be easily influenced by other people.
yeah,
And I think that's a thing that people struggle with at 30.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that's
yeah. No, that's true. That's
something
true, bro.
people struggle with going throughout life.
Yeah, yeah,
Um and I that's at the top. I would say
yeah,
that, and I would say, stick to the plan. Whatever plan you have for yourself, stick to it.
yeah,
Don't shy away from it. Be an individual. Continue to push towards your goals and achieve them,
yeah,
because only you have those goals.
yeah,
Only you go to sleep at night dreaming of this, or only you wake up thinking about this. Nobody else is thinking or dreaming about the same things that you're doing.
yeah,
So at that point in your life, make sure that you are doing everything you can to where 10 years down the road, you're achieving those dreams and
yeah,
those thoughts when you wake up.
yeah,
Because when you look back, you're going to look back and be like, damn, I, this is what I wanted to be.
yeah, 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 yeah,
You
yeah,
can look to your left and someone's doing something similar. You look
yeah,
to your
yeah,
right,
yeah,
the person you may have been hanging out with or doing that isn't doing anything.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
and you guys could have had the same goals growing up or whatever the case may be.
yeah,
But those are some of the things I would tell my 18-year-old self. I would say don't be easily influenced, eliminate distractions,
yeah,
and do whatever in your power to achieve whatever dreams and aspirations
yeah,
you may have had.
yeah,
And I'm not saying I haven't achieved my goals by
yeah,
any
yeah, yeah. No,
means,
no, no, for sure.
but
No, no, you
but
did
but
your thing.
yeah,
Yeah, you did your thing. Yeah,
but I'm saying it's important to put that at the forefront.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I
You
mean?
just wouldn't have had to. You put yourself through unnecessary
Yeah.
drama and
I put
problems. Yeah,
myself
yeah,
through
yeah,
unnecessary obstacles.
yeah,
I
yeah,
would,
yeah,
then that's what I like to call them, more
yeah,
of
yeah,
obstacles that needed to be, persevered
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
overcame,
No, I
and they
got you. I
were,
got you.
and they
Yeah,
were
yeah, yeah, for sure.
like I said, by like you said, mom on her knees every day,
Yeah,
praying, and you got prayer warriors, and
yeah,
by the grace of God, and looking back, it's like, well, damn, I shouldn't have even had myself in those type of
yeah, yeah,
positions,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but luckily enough, I'm here to sit with you.
yeah,
I've never had to do
yeah, yeah, yeah,
anything crazy or anything, but
yeah,
I had to go through the fire
yeah,
to come out kind of unburned in a
yeah.
sense, or unscathed.
Unscathed. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
unscathed, to
yeah,
kind of see, like, do I really want to walk through these coals again?
yeah, yeah,
Like, do
yeah,
I
yeah,
really want to take
yeah,
these arrows, or
yeah,
how do I really want to go about it, in effect, to where I could be here for my daughter in a
yeah,
sense, or or just to be here for my mom or my family or whatever. But
Yeah, yeah,
that's what I would tell myself, man. What
yeah.
about you? What would
Um,
you tell yourself?
be patient.
Be patient. Yeah,
Yeah, be patient. Be
that's a
patient.
good one. Still
Be
now
be be
today
be,
too.
be patient
Yeah,
and slow down.
yeah,
Enjoy yourself.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I know now I don't never want to say I was too hard on myself because I can always
I was.
I can't.
You can say it,
Well, when I say too hard on myself, I say because I'm still happy with where I ended up in life.
you're hard on yourself because of the expectations you
Yeah, yeah,
set for
yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah,
Expectation. No, no, 100%. But it's more so of that I always make, or I tell everyone this that when we have a real conversation about things,
yeah.
I say I didn't enjoy it.
Mm.
I didn't enjoy
It felt like, yeah.
I didn't enjoy the ride at all. You
I'm
know,
with you.
because it was so I'm so in the mix of everything. I never found time to applaud myself for the good things that I did accomplish. It was
Definitely.
always this not enough. This not enough. And looking back at it now, I can always just sit here and just say, nah, man, you could have went out that one night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
could,
Yeah.
uh, you could have bought yourself this. So
Yeah.
it's like stuff like that was like, man, it was serious, but I laugh and be like, man, hey man, it really wasn't. It was serious, but it wasn't that serious, man. You
Yeah.
could have, it was almost like you just in complete monk mode,
Yeah.
like you don't want to do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You don't want to spend nothing. You just nothing. I always tell everybody, like I say, we when I have a real conversation with people, because I always explain to them is that the patience part of me, or saying about being patient and enjoy it, was important because I already knew the plan from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I knew the plan. So it wasn't that I didn't know which way to go. It was just I was so submerged in it to where I didn't see anything outside of it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to enjoy anything. No matter what I did, no matter what I got, it was never enough. You know what I
I
mean?
got
So
you.
so so that constant pressure is okay, but it's like take some time to yourself
To yourself.
here
Yeah.
and there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? To the point to where it's like, man, if at 22, 23 years old, if you even asked me to go out, I almost got mad at you. I'm
Oh
like,
no.
you know I'm not gonna go out. So now
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like
Why you
now I feel like
you
you're trying to
trying
throw
me?
me off.
Yeah, you
You know?
trying to
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see what I'm doing?
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
see what
yeah.
I'm doing?
You
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
throw me
yeah,
off
yeah.
now. You know
I
what I
got
mean?
you. I got you. Hey,
So
and
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
was the
yeah.
opposite. If you don't ask me
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
get
yeah,
ready to go
yeah,
out, I'm
yeah.
like, man, damn, what's
Yeah, yeah,
going
yeah,
on?
yeah.
You don't want me to
Yeah,
go or something?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was kind of like it was like a fine little line between that. And yeah, man, that's really what it was. I would say just enjoy it because, man, bro, I had, I think I told you this story before. Like, bro,
Hmm.
I had close to $800,000
Yeah. Yeah.
at 24 23 24 in the bank. Bro, I was still driving a 2003 Chevy
Yeah.
Malibu.
You told me about that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
You told me
I
about
was
that.
still
Yeah.
living in a one-bedroom apartment
Yeah.
in Fort Lauderdale, and it was like I don't want to spend nothing. I don't want to enjoy
Yeah.
nothing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's
I'm
like
not where I want to be.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 And the reason why I say enjoy it, to even kind of close the conversation off, is that I don't want to just say money, but money was so important to me, and I was so driven by money and goals and things of that nature to
Hmm.
where I didn't enjoy it. And it wasn't until I hit a point to where I woke up one morning and was like, damn, like, bro, I got all this and I still feel like I'm just pushing for nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like God grounds you back
He
again
does.
to let you
He
know
does.
you doing
Yeah.
what you doing right now. You doing all this work, you almost letting it control you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
controlling you. It's controlling every aspect of your life. Um, and that was a point in time where I wasn't going to church no more like I was.
Yeah.
I wasn't even going around to see my family no more like that. I was just isolated. Like
Isolated.
I'm going hard.
Well, that's what they say happens kind of when you get into that type of mode or
Yeah.
that driven, where you said money drove you.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
isolates you in a sense,
Yeah.
which I'm not saying it's a
Yeah, yeah,
bad
yeah,
thing
yeah,
by any
yeah.
means to striving to reach that,
Yeah.
but that's typically what people kind of,
Yeah.
it goes hand in hand in a sense,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
that's what you're driven by.
Yeah, yeah, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
so you elaborate on that very
Yeah,
well.
so
Yeah, yeah.
no, so
Yeah.
it's more so just like you just you isolate yourself from everybody and everything until God has to put that feeling back in you to where you like, okay, this was making me happy.
Yeah.
Now it ain't doing it no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
This ain't doing it for me no more. So now what you start to do, and I think that's when you start going on that journey to where you figure out what's really gonna make you happy.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? You keep doing your thing and keep being driven towards your goals, but now it's more of a it's a spiritual journey, just the path that you start to really walk as a man to say, okay, my purpose on this earth ain't just to make money. It
Definitely.
ain't just to get up and go work
Definitely.
every day and night. That's not my purpose on this earth. You know what I mean?
Nah,
But that's
yeah.
what you thinking as a
That's what
young
you think.
man.
Yeah.
You thinking, man, the only thing I need to do is make some money.
I'm
Everything else,
good.
yeah, everything else
Everything
gonna
else gonna
come.
be
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
everything
yeah,
else
yeah.
gonna come.
Exactly.
And at the time, I didn't have kids, I didn't have nothing. So, um, and so that's what I would just say. You need to slow it down. I would say slow it down, enjoy the moment, and appreciate the small wins that you achieve along the way.
Definitely.
You know, the road is far from over. You know what I mean? Like
It's never.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a never ending fight.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
enjoy every win that you get along the way.
That's true.
Enjoy it. Um, give yourself a clap on the back. Um, go out with your friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
Do things, man. It's okay. You know what I mean?
I agree.
One night out of 90 days ain't gonna kill you, man. If it do, you weren't doing it
You
right
was doing
anyways. You know what
anyways. Man,
I mean?
look, this was a great conversation
Yeah,
without consent, man.
yeah,
Um, until next time, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it there.